Tonight on Hawkeyes Who Cook,
We're here in my kitchen.
Kvon wows us with his family's Middle Eastern masterpiece.
Sit down, it's time to eat!
If he doesn't embarrass them trying.
And sometimes the fire alarm goes off.
It's this guy, Kvon Moezi. Kvon's a catch with some international flair.
The only thing I'm missing is you sitting here joining me.
But is his touch in the kitchen as golden as his smile?
You guys came just in time. Welcome to my house. Come on in. So my name is Kvon, and I am a 25-year-old single guy living in Southern California. Kvon is a Persian name. I am half Persian, half Scottish. And sorry, ladies, I don't have a kilt. I am a spin instructor. That is my job. The reason I do it also is so that I can train for my very own triathlons. I've done triathlons all over Southern California, so if you ever see me running, biking, swimming, I'm going to be out there. And another hobby of mine that I love doing is stand-up comedy. So if you ever come over here, I might be practicing some new jokes on my microphone. This is where the ideas, they just come to me, and I start throwing it out there. Is this thing on? Okay, we're here in my kitchen. Because I am half Persian, I'm going to be cooking a Persian dish for you. It's got a hard name to pronounce, so try to follow me. Zareshk polo with juje kebab. It sounds even better if you use an accent. Zareshk polo and juje kebab. Why don't we check out the ingredients? We have chicken breast. So you got to get these berries. Zareshk is how you pronounce it. Chicken kebab seasoning. An onion. A lot of Iranians can eat an onion like an apple. I think it tastes delicious, but I don't always do that if I have a date coming over. What good is Middle Eastern cooking without tons of olive oil, fresh tomatoes, saffron, spice? This stuff goes for about $20 a half ounce. Oh, how could I forget? The number one thing if you're going to cook Persian food, you need a big old bag of rice. And look how awesome this bag looks. You can make a purse with it later or something. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is get the zareshk, put it in a dish, and we're going to soak it for about 10 to 20 minutes. 2 cups of rice. My aunt, who was born in Iran, taught me how to make this dish when I was in college because I was eating fast food 7 days a week, and that doesn't really cut it on the waistline. Now it's time to saute the berries. A tablespoon of sugar, add this to the berries here, a little olive oil, saffron, and we're only going to use a pinch. The way we grind it is we use a dry spoon, and you're just going to press it right here. Now what we're going to do is add water to this, hot water, and it's going to be like a tea. It's going to sit for a few minutes. I have made this for a date before. Guys, it went very well. This is looking good. The olive oil is heated up. We're going to put the zareshk berries in this pan. And sometimes the fire alarm goes off. That's why you should turn the vent on. It'll go off eventually. All right.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
What we're going to do with this boiling water right here is we're going to add it to the saffron, and we're going to let that sit. And then we're going to layer the zareshk, then put more rice, layer the zareshk, and more rice. So it's kind of add a little bit of this saffron water that we created, and you just lightly pour it on. And then we're going to put it on a low simmer for the next 40 minutes. Okay, I want to show you what goes into getting the chicken prepared. The kebab seasoning is the secret ingredient. So we're going to add that right here to the Ziploc bag. Our good friend, the olive oil, pour it in there as such. And fresh squeezed lemon. Citrusy taste is something to me that's very sexy. So if it tastes citrusy, lemon juice, oh, I love it. Now I'm going to cut this chicken into about 2-inch cubes. We can add our chicken breast in a Ziploc bag, and we let that sit overnight. And just to save time, presto, I had one that was marinating overnight already for us. If you want to have a creative date, you can make this food here at home. Then you put it in a little picnic basket, take it to the beach, glass of wine, watch the sunset. You can't beat that. And also, it's a lot cheaper than anything else out there. Now we get out my in-home grill. Look at this baby. This is warm. Put the chicken on there. And one of my secret talents is I can juggle tomatoes. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like it, but watch yourself now. Whoa, and look at this. Look how good, okay, not always good at it. Okay, not always good at it, but I'm practicing. What is on my shirt? Okay, so that's a little splurp of something. Now let's throw these right on there. Some pita bread. You can kind of smush them. The tomatoes are ready. Perfect, so while we're waiting for the chicken to finish up, this rice is ready. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that thin layer right there is called tarig. And this is the part that people want, so they fight over that. Mom was a good cook. My mom was really intense. After she would get done cooking, she would yell, "You just sit down, it's time to eat!" The best part for me is the presentation. I enjoy putting it on a plate and making it look really, really impressive. I am really happy with the way this turned out. So I always get some garnishes. I get spinach, I add carrots to it, add a little citrus to give it an extra bite. So here's what we have. The juja kebab, zereshk polo, and as they say in Iran, bah bah chabui, which means, it smells and looks so good. Really. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna keep eating this. This is really good.
Maybe I'm more Persian than I thought. And I'm only half. But there's times you need to turn it up. Halfies. If you're half, turn it up sometimes. Here's how I learned this. I went to an audition for a TV show called Guys Who Cook. All right, some of you have seen it on YouTube. You see me, I cooked zereshk polo and jujek kebab. You know about that? Yeah.
That's it. And then we're gonna layer the zereshk, then put more rice, layer the zereshk, and more rice. And you just lightly pour it on, and then we're gonna put it on a low simmer for the next 40 minutes.
Hundreds of thousands of people have seen the video, but very few have heard the story. So with your permission, I'll tell you the story right now. Who wants to hear the story, all right? Auditions work like this. You go in a room, and there's 200 dudes that look exactly like you. And you gotta somehow stick out and impress these people in front of all these other guys, and you start hating on them right away. You're like, look at this dumbass. Look at this loser. He looks just like me, idiot. All right? And I'm sitting there in the waiting room, and I can hear the lady calling people in, and I can hear what they're saying. The lady comes up, and she's like, all right, next on my list is Dan. Well, Dan, come on in, okay? And I can hear through the door. She's like, all right, Dan, if you were on the cooking show, what would you cook? He's like, I would make spaghetti. She's like, okay. Thank you very much, Dan. We've heard that about 15 times today. Why don't you go on ahead? We'll let you know if we're going to book you for the show. He's like, all right, it's good spaghetti. I'm sure it is. Have a good one. Then she called the next guy. She's like, will David come out here? Is David here? He's like, right here. All right, David, could you please let us know, tell the camera, what would you cook if you were on our cooking show? I would make, I was thinking about making pizza. Okay, David, we're gonna let you know. Thank you so much. Or I could make spaghetti if you want. I could do both. Okay. I started to realize what was happening here. These women were bored. I needed to turn the Persian up. I needed to crank it up to full blast, okay? So that's what I did. She goes, next is Kevin here. I go, who are you calling Kevin? My name is Kvon. Oh, I'm sorry, Kvon. Come on in. Okay. How are you? She goes, will you please tell me in the camera what you'd make if you got on our cooking show? I go, for you? What would I make for you? I'm cranking it up to full blast at this point. I don't even have an accent. I have an accent for this lady. I go, for you? First of all, because I'm cooking, let me do one button for you, okay? That's more like it, okay? For you, I would make zereshk polo with jujek kebab. That's what I would make for you. Zereshk polo with jujek kebab for you. She had never heard anything like that before. She's like, oh my God. Will you, that sounds really, what did you say? I'm not telling you again, so you either got it or you don't. Check the tape, okay? She goes, you have to say it one more time. Let me go get my head casting director. Could you, hold on just a second. Rebecca, please get in here. You have to see, yeah, he's like Middle Eastern or something. He sounds like Aladdin. You have to come see. I am not Aladdin, okay? Aladdin, he is Arab, I'm Persian, okay? Now, Rebecca comes out now, there's two beautiful women. They're like, she's like, okay, will you, she's drooling a little bit. She's like, will you tell Rebecca and I what you would make for us if you got on our cooking show tomorrow? Oh my God, you, wait till you hear this, oh my God. I'm like, well, since there are two of you, you know, I have to, hold on one second, two more buttons. Okay, now I'm ready, okay? Two buttons, two of you. For you two, I would make zereshk polo with jujek kebab. And if you're lucky, masto khiyar for you, okay? Yogurt with cucumber. Don't worry where I get the cucumber. I keep it in a safe place for you. They were so impressed. They're like, oh my God, we don't know what the hell you just said. You are on the cooking show. I'm like, you made a good decision. Khudafis. I'll be back. Okay. See you next time. Here's the problem. I don't know how to cook Zeresh polo and jujek kebab. No clue. Never cooked it. My Emma Shireen cooks it. My Aunt Shireen, she's the matriarch of our family. She cooks Zeresh polo and jujek kebab every Sunday. We eat it. So I called Emma Shireen. I go, Emma Shireen, good news. I'm gonna be on a cooking show tomorrow. I'm cooking Zeresh polo and jujek kebab. Oh my God, that's delicious. Wait a minute. Pedarsak. Which, by the way, means your father is a dog, right? The funniest part about that is my dad called me Pedarsak the first 5 years of my life. Pedarsak, don't touch that. I'm like, Dad, that means you, okay? You're calling yourself a dog, all right? She's like, Pedarsak, why did you say you make Zeresh polo and jujek kebab? You don't know how to make Zeresh polo. I was like, I know. I totally lied, okay? I need your help. That's why I'm calling. You're going to teach me how to make Zeresh polo and jujek kebab. And she goes, oh, I make it every Sunday. I'm going to teach you. Don't worry. And that's when I learned Middle Eastern women cook the best food in the world. Give it up for these ladies in the house. Cook the best food. You know what's the best? You don't know how to teach it at all. Emma Shireen's giving me the weirdest advice ever. She's like, first get a pot. I'm like, what size? A good size. Get a good size. Okay, I got a pot. Put the pot there. I go, okay, I got the pot. Now what? She goes, now what you want to do is put rice in the pot. I'm like, yeah, how much though? How much? She goes, a lot. Put a lot in the pot. Okay. What's this, Dr. Seuss rhyme? All right, hold on. I got a big old bag of rice. I fill up the pot. Fill it up. A little more for the pot. Put that away. I go, okay, Phil, it's pretty full. All right. Now what? She goes, now the important part. Put water in the pot. I said, how much water? She goes, up to your finger. What? These were her instructions. A pot with rice and my finger. I can't be teaching this on TV, on a cooking show. Like, now I'm gonna finger the rice. This is for children. I am freaking out. The show is tomorrow, and I had no more Persian swagger. Okay. They're like, what are you cooking? I'm like, I'm attempting to cook. Well, what I'd really like to make is spaghetti for you right now, if I could. But if you must, I will make you Zeresh polo and jujek kebab. All right. I was so white. And I'm like, so like this is really weird, but I'm gonna put a pot and rice, and I'm gonna put my finger in it. Don't worry, it's kind of weird, but I'm gonna stick my finger. It's supposed to go up to like one of my knuckles. I don't even know which knuckle. My aunt didn't tell me that part. You got a finger. I don't know. I know. It's weird. And I don't know what happened, but maybe because the cameras are there, or my ancestors were with me, or my Emma Shireen was praying for me. But when I flipped over the pot, and I go, now I've made for you Zeresh polo and jujek kebab. I lifted up the pot, and it was perfect. I go, oh, thanks God, okay? In fact, it was so good, I even had tariq. Yeah, yes. Now, I know some of you look confused. You're like, what's tariq? Tariq is the burnt rice, so when you flip the pot, it ends up there. That's how good Persian food is. Even our burnt shit is delicious. People fight over it. And I know some of you are like, well, I have a lot of Persian friends. I've never heard of this tariq. This is too ethnic. No, it's not that you haven't heard of it. It's that we don't share it with you, okay? Middle Eastern people can burn the rice, and we just like, don't tell them about tariq. This is our little secret. Keep tariq to ourselves, okay? Keep that with... It means you fingered it perfectly. It came out perfect.